Hey, Internets. It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. We both saw it over the weekend. Yes?
Yes.
Good. Seeing it is good for talking about.
I agree.
Yes, movie, scene, controversial.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of talk about this thing.
Yep.
Let's before we talk plot or something like that, just generally speaking, what are your? I'm not going to ask you to rank it and that we give a rating, but like generally speaking, you want to give? Give a rating. I mean, yes, Paul, give a rating. That's the most important part of this.
3 stars. Hey, there you go.
3 out of
4.
3 out of 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I stand by that.
Sweet. Okay.
I didn't say it was 3.5. Just 3.
On the 4-star scale.
Yeah.
I don't think I could go for 3.
Wow. Well,
I think I would go.
Really? That to me, 3 stars is to basically tell somebody to go see it.
Oh, really? Okay. I was like 2.5 is where I was going to come in.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't tell anybody to go see 2.5. You know?
Okay, well,
just think that you're like so close to like middle.
We probably should have talked about this beforehand.
Yeah, really. I mean, no, that's what it means to you.
Okay, right, you know? Exactly. Like 2.5 is still like
4
relevant.
is great.
Yes.
3 is good.
3 is a B.
2.5
like a 2.5 is like a C plus.
Meh.
Like a C. C is average. So it's like all right, punching above my weight. I don't know. All right. Anyway. Yeah, this movie is not an abomination, so don't let people tell you that it is.
Yes, there you go. Not an abomination, no. 2.5, not an abomination.
2.5, not an abomination. I think that's actually in the the quotes for the movie. Right. Not an abomination. No. 2.5 stars, Dork Lords. Okay, so we won't cover this thing like beat by beat, but basically speaking, you've got Han Solo growing up on the streets of Corellia, trying to get out. He has the one big score. He gets out, but his girlfriend doesn't. So he's like, damn it, I got to get enough money to come back and rescue my girlfriend, who's trapped.
Right.
So to do that,
Takes a while.
He joins the Empire.
Yep.
He is like, I want to be a pilot. They're like, no, why don't you be a ground troop? And so for like 3 years, he's shooting things on planets as a grunt soldier guy. Yeah. Gets in with a group of thieves. Kind of convinces his way into that group. Also meets Chewie. Kind of in a Luke fighting the Rancor style thing. Throw him in the pit with the beast. But then, they turn into buddies. And then they join this group of thieves. And it's run by Woody Harrelson. Yep. And it's got Tandy Newton.
Tandy Newton, that's right.
And it's got Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah.
And then that group goes off on this big score type mission, but nope. Goes awry. Yep. Tandy Newton dead. Jon Favreau dead. Oh, that's spoilers, by the way. Okay, and so now they've gone sideways with the crime syndicates.
Yep.
It's like, oh my God, they're gonna basically kill us because we're not giving them what they want.
Right.
So instead of you're like, okay, we'll go meet. We'll just try to bluff our way through this. Yep. They go to meet the big boss, Dryden Voss.
And who do they see?
Boom, girlfriend Kira.
Yep.
She's there. Like, what was her? Well, what happened in the middle there between those? Nobody knows.
No.
She doesn't talk about it.
She doesn't.
It never talked about. You can guess some bad things happen, but we don't know. Okay, so
we don't know.
But Han Solo's like, oh great, awesome.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yep.
My whole reason for being was to get money to come back to you. Here you are.
Boom.
Let's go play some Xbox. I don't know. They team up. They kind of talk their way out of getting killed by saying, well, we're going to do this really dangerous mission to make things up.
Vision was going to kill them.
Yes, Vision was going to kill them, otherwise known as Dryden Voss. But he doesn't.
No.
Instead, he's like, good thing, and you, Kira,
go with
girlfriend of this guy, go with them.
Go with them.
To make sure they don't screw it up. So, they go, make the Kessel Run.
Yes.
Get this stuff.
The famous Kessel Run.
12 parsecs. They, 10. I did like the line, if you round down. That was good. I like that. Good, nice, well done. Anyway, so they complete this very difficult mission, bring it back, but then the double crosses start. Yeah. For one thing, they realize that the group that they're suckering out of this coaxium, hyperfuel. It's not fuel, it's hyperfuel. Okay? So it's like you're not drinking water, you're drinking super water. So the group, the Cloud Riders, led by Emphas Nest, teenage girl, she started the rebellion. They're like, we really need this fuel to fight the Empire. And Han's like, you know what? Yes, you do. Fine. I'm going to just put my life in danger to help you guys out. But then there's like double cross, triple cross, In the end, a whole bunch of people are dead. Vision is dead. Again. He keeps dying. In the shows.
All over the place.
Woody Harrelson's dead. And Kira, the girlfriend, Daenerys Targaryen, takes over for Dryden Voss. I mean, she's like, yep, I'll get his power ring. Ching, ching, ching. The big reveal of who's running the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate is Maul. And it's Maul. And
he's not Darth anymore?
I don't think he's Darth anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boo.
Because at this point, this is post Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No,
yeah, because this is his crime career.
You scoot. So so he's just Maul, but now he's Maul, crime syndicate lord, and he commands Kira to come to Dathomir, which is his home planet. So she takes off, leaves Han. Han's like, oh, great, got Chewie alive. I gave them their stuff. I'm going to go back and get the Millennium Falcon. I'm going to win it.
Yeah, that's right. Win it, because now that
So he goes, obviously Lando's been a part of this whole thing the entire time. They needed Lando. I guess we should have mentioned that. They needed a good ship to do the Kessel Run.
That's right.
So they go try to win the ship.
Yes.
They don't.
No.
Because Lando cheats at cards.
That's right.
And so instead they pay Lando.
Yes.
You, fine, great, here's 20%, as it turns out. So now, post everything happening, Han goes back, cheats the cheater.
Yeah, cheats the cheater. Cheated him.
And wins the Millennium Falcon fair and square. That's more or less your storyline. Okay, with missing some beats there, but fine. Okay, so that said, I would say performances generally are strong.
Oh yeah. Now I would say though that I would have liked them to try a little harder to find someone who was more like Harrison Ford.
You mean in looks or mannerisms?
In demeanor.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like his whole "I want to be a pilot" was too much like Luke Skywalker's "I want to be a pilot." Even though he came up rougher, I feel like what he should want is independence, not so much "I want to fly."
I agree that they didn't lean into the solo idea of that independence you're talking about. Now, and the name thing was a little. I didn't really care for the way that came
I'm on the fence with it, but I mean, I think they could have done it worse.
Basically, the way they do the name is
the Ellis Island way.
Yeah, so he's signing up. They're like, instead of just saying what's your last name, he's like, what people represent you. So he's like, no one. I'm just here by myself. Okay, what's your last name? Might have been the next question, but it wasn't.
No.
So he's like, fine, I'll just call you Solo. I don't know. It's just they kind of contrived their way through that. But that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was
like,
no, I'm out of this.
Basically they were asking what his clan is.
And we never found out what. But we do know. Actually, very interesting. I thought this was cool. A little fun connection to the Millennium Falcon. Han is saying, actually, my dad always wanted to be a pilot. But instead, he was a manufacturer. He was working the line. Mm-hmm. And he actually he built these Corellian freighters that is the type of the Millennium Falcon. So more or less, his dad was partially responsible for building the Millennium Falcon. Hence, it has a lot of resonance for Han. I think that's really cool.
That's not bad.
I thought that was a fun little you get the idea that maybe his dad, wanted to reach for the stars and couldn't.
Right. But even more than his motivation, though, is demeanor. You could say that we don't know what occurs to his character between the time of this movie and the time of A New Hope or Episode 4 or whatever.
Right. So,
first Star Wars.
That's a good point.
But
where are we in this timeline? So, it's after Revenge of the Sith, before Rogue One.
Yeah.
And I think it's roughly 10-ish years before Rogue One. That's kind of where we are.
Makes
Just
sense.
FYI.
Makes sense. But anyway, so I feel like that even at that age, if we were to see the actor Harrison Ford playing that character when he was 10 years younger, I think he would still have some of the same sort of qualities, which is kind of non-plus. Maybe non-plus is not the, but not that chipper and I think he's charming in a different way, charming in a more laid-back, come-to-me sort of way, and not, he seems more energetic and
I feel like they were trying to go with the idea of like, hey, this is him in his youth before he became jaded, but I feel like he has a lot of choices to make in this movie, and he kind of always makes the decide to do the right thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't.
And I would have liked it perhaps to be a little more accidental.
Exactly. Or that, like he's, so that when we get to a character, the Han Solo we know from New Hope, this guy he's a good guy. And she even calls him out. She even says, "You're a good guy."
Yeah.
I would have preferred him to not be necessarily a good guy, maybe a shades of gray neutral guy, and then he becomes a good guy because, hey, you know what? The rebellion needs me, and this is a moment in time.
Yeah,
as opposed to we never doubt that he's going to.
I wonder if it makes you wonder, since there were different directors that were handling it first, although they probably weren't diverging from the script that much. The writers, who were Lawrence Kasdan and his son, I wish they'd been more, a little more ambitious there. I mean, it's like one thing I've heard people say is, "Oh, you shot first in this one." It's like he was faster on the draw. I mean, it's not like it was clear that the guy was gonna shoot him, True, but the guy did not actually get a shot off. That's true.
And that's kind of the shoot first thing.
Okay.
So he shot him before the guy could go, pew!
But it was clear that it was going to happen.
Yes, they didn't make it like I murdered the guy.
Right.
They made it like the guy was about to shoot me, and so I shot him.
Right, as opposed to, you don't even know that I've got a gun on you. Blam!
Good point. There is a difference. How do you think I under the table? Right. Yeah, he even gets forgiveness really from Beckett at the end there. As Beckett's dying, he's like, "You made the right choice. I was gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Just in case the audience is like, "Whoa, did he?" No,
you're
right.
still a good person.
You're right.
But it's not the worst thing in the world for me personally that I would have preferred a different characterization. I think it probably would have been hard enough trying to find that and have the tone of the movie be right as a result of it.
Right.
I mean, one of the things I think I would say though is that, I think this is a necessary sort of step. It's like I think they probably could have been a lot more ambitious in the movies that they've chosen to make, and strayed a little more from these characters or whatever. But that's fine.
I just feel like it was never in doubt whether he was going to do the right thing. That's where I want more doubt when it comes to that character. That's all. Like that moment in New Hope, then when he leaves and it's like, oh, you're just looking after yourself.
Yep.
And then he comes back,
Yep.
and like that's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah.
With this guy, you're like, no, of course, yes, he's going to come back.
Right.
He's not a horrible guy. Anyway, so a thing that I didn't particularly care for, if I were to pick a scene that I was like, it was actually, unfortunately, the opening.
Oh yeah.
The living on the streets of Corellia. For one thing, it's like these little street urchins, these little artful dodgers, or as you put, like the little orphan Annies. It's a hard knock life for us. Newsies. I don't know. Anyway, but like everyone's like 10, and then there's like Kira and Han are like 20. They're literally towering above everyone else. And you're like, okay. Someone else moved on. I don't know. But they're and then the Lady Proxima. I mean, she might be canon in some way. I'm not familiar with that backstory.
I feel like the name I've heard that is canon.
It's not. She's related to Proxima Midnight. What? She got back with Vision? No. All right. But yeah, the worm, and then her kind of weird voice, and then it was just kind of. It was played for laughs a little bit, but then it was also serious. But then, I don't know. It just didn't quite hit the right tone for me in that bit. But whatever.
Yeah.
It was they did a quick origin. It didn't move. It got through it. They were like, here it is. He's got problems. He's trying to get out. He's got the thing. They want the thing. He's going to run away with the thing.
Yep.
And she's willing to sacrifice. She's willing to give it up.
Yes.
She's willing to go, no, I haven't. He's like, no, never mind. I've got a rock. I like the little pretending it was a thermal detonator. I did like the sound effect when she's like, "You just used your voice." He's like, "No, it's a thermal detonator." I mean, that's something I did on the playground, basically. So that's pretty cool. So what the big action set pieces would be? So there's in that scene, there's the car chase.
Yeah.
There's the big train heist.
Chase, whatever. Yes.
There's the Kessel Run.
Yes.
And then there's the stuff that kind of happens at the end with the crossing, double crossing, fighting things. Was there one in particular that stood out for you?
I mean, those were fun and everything. I mean, I would have perhaps preferred. I've heard other people mention this too. You didn't need a magical cloud and a magical or mysterious beast in the cloud and a black hole.
You're talking the Kessel Run, obviously.
Yes. So in there, they could have left one of those out for my money. Although, I'm fine with them being in there. I mean, I think if somebody were to say, a fan of this shit, like, that's the Kessel Run. I mean.
Oh, I did like this. I think they did. It wasn't 100% clear, but I think they did actually retcon it to be a measure of distance. More like that was always the complaint, right? Parsecs are a measure of distance instead of a measure of time.
Right.
And I think what they basically were saying in this is, well, he made a shortcut. So the Kessel Run normally takes 20 parsecs of distance, but he went off the map and did like I shortcut through the danger part, and it was only 12 parsecs. I think is what they did, which is kind of cool.
I don't have a problem with that. No, I mean, yes, right. No, I just meant someone perhaps saying, that's it? So big deal. That's that big run that he did? So some people have said that they feel as if the mystery is taken away because they could always imagine something really great.
Well, that giant creature's dead now, probably, right?
That's true. Yeah, you could see it deteriorating as it was getting sucked off piece by piece.
You don't have to worry about that anymore.
No, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I was fine with it.
So let's talk about then how one of the reasons they get through the Kessel Run, which is the L3, the robot. They put the robot's data set into Millennium Falcon, and where it exists to this day.
Yes, yeah, because it doesn't get along well with C-3PO.
Right. Later in time, when C-3PO was like, it has a complex dialect. And they call the ship she a lot, which they could have done that anyway.
Yeah, they would have done
that. So yeah, what do we? It was interesting. It was a little odd. So L3 is this robot that's never been wiped, and so over time has accumulated a vast knowledge of navigational charts.
I guess so.
Amongst other things. Also gotten the idea of that robots have rights.
Sure.
So she should have gotten together with Tandy Newton. Together, they could have gotten out of Westworld.
That's right.
They were in Space World, and they could have.
There you go.
Anyway,
there you go.
But she didn't. So she does liberate robots in Kessel. But we get the idea that she, the relationship between Lando and L3. She thinks Lando likes her, but she's like, not playing hard to get, or I forgot how she put it, but she's like, maintaining her distance.
Yeah.
Although there's some indication of perhaps a sexual relationship
Yes.
there. And then Lando obviously feels very deeply for her when she's dying,
Yes.
and he runs back
Yes.
to get her.
Yes.
So he risks his own life
Yes.
to save her head,
Mm-hmm.
basically. It occurred to me, why not just re-upload her at that point into like a body?
Sure.
But instead they uploaded her into the ship,
Yep, there you go.
save their skins.
Same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. So she's kind of like now, like she was so up on the rights of these robots and her own.
Yes.
And now she seems to be kind of like a slave. Am I wrong? Maybe? No?
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. Okay. Maybe she's just like,
We
no, I
don't, we don't
choose
know
to
what
do
state
this.
she's in, right? I mean, we don't know how her consciousness is formed, right? So the whole part of her that's a database may be separate from her consciousness,
Okay.
All
right. So she doesn't have, is that like the ship has an attitude that is hers?
Well, it does seem like that's what they're saying, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Seem like what they're saying.
Oh, well. She's a slave.
Okay.
I mean,
Well.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's just kind of sad.
Maybe it's like,
actually kind of
maybe
dark.
it's like reincarnation. So before she was this creature, now she's a ship.
She's a ship.
You see? So there you go.
Okay. All right. I just thought it was kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
you would like her
Yeah.
to achieve some kind of freedom or die in a making a choice.
Yes.
And instead, it's like, no, we're gonna hook you up, and now you're
Yes.
you're our ship.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I,
Or
like
she slowly
the,
goes crazy.
yes.
And then 2001.
There you
happens.
go.
Okay.
Like the actress who portrays her, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I first saw in Fleabag, which is worth watching, and is the showrunner writer for Killing Eve, BBC.
So yeah, the train heist was cool, and had that Western roots kind of feel to it. I would say it did occur to me, as like, why are they using trains? Like, I don't know. It's like, here's this galaxy / solar system / planet that's got a lot of really high tech spaceship technology, and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put it on a track that goes dangerously winding around this.
Would be cool to have it twist and turn. Okay, whoa, we were going to pull out the ships, but this is worth doing.
This is worth doing.
Let me get my checkbook out right now. Pay that off.
I like having this really explosive cargo that we're going to take in a very dangerous way.
There you go.
But it looks cool, and it's fun. It's a fun fight scene. Yeah, so are there any characters? What like how'd you like Lando? How'd you like?
Oh yeah,
Mr.
he was
Glover?
great. I thought he was great. I thought he, well, no, he. I guess you could say he was closer to. I mean, I think he's a better actor than Billy D. Williams. Not that Billy D. is especially bad or anything, but I think Donald Glover has shown he's got a lot of range. So yeah, I think he comes off really well.
Yeah.
I liked what's his name, Woody Harrelson. I liked him in his role, and I liked Daenerys there.
Yes, Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark, yeah. I mean, it seems
Her
like
backstory is
poor girl.
so
They can't put her into anything
mysterious.
that they put her into Terminator movies, which didn't work. I guess. I mean, you can certainly say that. I guess in the Lord of the Rings he's working, but I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see.
Wait, who? You're talking Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, sorry.
Fooled you. Not everything is Lord of the Rings, or is it?
I've been damaged.
You've come a long way. You've made a lot of progress, Paul.
Yeah. Oh God, I wish.
Everything.
I wish
is
Lord of the Rings was as good as Game of Thrones. I
Damn
wish.
you! How dare you? All right.
Maybe more nudity, and
No, it's good. So yes, performance is good. Was there a performance that maybe wasn't as memorably good? I got an idea for one that it's not necessarily the performance; it's the depiction. It's Jon Favreau's Rio.
Well, what's wrong with Jon Favreau?
I just thought he looked too cartoony.
Oh,
Like he didn't come off as like an alien. He came off as like oh, it's an anime special. I don't know. Just like it didn't. I never was like, that's an alien. I was like,
Didn't feel
that's a
that way
cartoon bear with 4 arms.
to me. Didn't feel that way to me.
Okay, like Chewie looks like a creature, and I know it's a guy in a suit versus the CGI.
It is.
The CGI, I just didn't think quite pulled me in.
Yeah, I didn't remember having any negative feelings about that, but then I tend not to.
Plus, it was just like you're waiting for him to die because he's a pilot, and you're like, Han Solo's got to be the pilot. How quickly can Rio die so Han Solo can be the pilot? There he goes. All right. Took a shoulder shot. You wouldn't think that would kill you off, but when you got 4 arms, maybe that's like the weak spot. It's like, that's where we keep our hearts. It's in their, the whatever.
Armpit.
Shoulder blade.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had to go.
He did have to go.
And he did.
He did go.
He did go.
Yeah, he went.
So when it came to Maul, that was the big reveal.
Yes.
Now,
I'm of the opinion that, it's possible that she went and did that because I've heard people say that, she did that because she's ambitious.
When you say she did that, Kira. After killing Dryden Voss,
instead of running off with Han,
she got contacts
there. Now, I feel as if, she made an obligation. They don't know anything about Solo. So
she's got the brand on her too.
She's got the brand, which
like,
probably means that you're signed up for life, presumably.
Yeah.
So
they may even have a tracker on it, for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
Like she may have thought. I agree. You're saying she didn't necessarily make the choice out of malice as much as she was like, I pretty much need to do this or I'm dead.
Right. That event alone, I don't think should have been enough to I'm tired of being good. That Han should be like, now that's the only thing. Now I'm as careless about the future as the later Han Solo is, or whatever. But I
got the feeling like
I would like to see more. I want
And there are other movies planned for this. If they,
because obviously she should die, because either that or they're just never together. But,
she's a femme fatale.
Yeah. But she should die probably to really make him,
I will say that her last little
sucks.
moments, the last scenes we see of her when she's about to go to Dathomir to visit Vel, are not triumphant. She's not like, yep, I've gotten everything I always dreamed of.
Yeah.
She seems scared. She seems, reticent.
Yeah.
She doesn't really want to go do this,
Yeah.
but she feels like she had. I felt like she felt cornered.
Yeah.
So that's not the mark of like a villain,
no,
as much as it's like, oh God, my past has pushed me into this box that I.
Right.
And also, she doesn't say. It's not that far of a leap to get to Han Solo, but she doesn't say Han Solo when she's talking.
Right.
She's like, Beckett. He's the one who did all this horrible
Yeah.
stuff. Go look for him. Of course, he's dead down there on the planet right now. But she didn't know that. But she doesn't just out and out call out Han and go get him.
Right.
He's horrible. But when it comes to Maul, now some people may have been surprised. Probably not that many, but if you just watch the movies, you'd be like, that dude cut in half. How is he? What is he? Is this before then? It's not. Unless it's all in her head. Okay. That's Legion and Westworld. If you're watching those reviews we do. Okay. This is not that. So basically, in the Clone Wars animated show, and then more so, I think, in Rebels, another animated show, which are canon. Disney's approved them and said, these are the things. These are the histories. Darth Maul did not die. Was fueled by his revenge against Obi-Wan. And so, for a while, he's got these spider legs, because that's kind of what they had available. So here's your spider legs. And obviously, this is later in time, because we see that in this hologram, he's got his mechanical legs, bipedal mechanical legs. So you can kind of tell a little bit where that is in time. He has a plan where he ends up killing off Obi-Wan's love interest, and then later on in Rebels, he tries to take on his own apprentice. He tries to kind of become his own, overthrow the Emperor, more or less, become his own Sith Lord, and take on Ezra Bridger, the hero of the Rebel show, as his own, apprentice, basically. That does not work.
No.
But in the process, he does find out where Obi-Wan is now exiled to, Tatooine, confronts Obi-Wan on Tatooine. Obi-Wan is probably going to maybe try to find a way to extricate himself from the situation until Maul starts figuring out why Obi-Wan's there. It's like, there's probably something you're guarding here.
Is that when he kills him?
And then he kills him.
Spoilers.
So, yeah, they have a very short, dramatic fight. It's like, bing, bing, bing. And Obi-Wan kills.
Less expensive.
It was less expensive. And also, it was cool in that it was unexpected. You were waiting for this is going to be a long, drawn-out fight. And it was like...
Surprise!
And it was kind of surprise. So I give them credit for, they did a surprise undercut. You're like, oh, wow, all right. You just killed him off.
That moment in Indiana Jones.
Very much so.
Raiders Lost Ark.
He's doing this thing. And what you got from that moment is that Obi-Wan learned from his prior, through his life, when they previously met, Obi-Wan was kind of a hothead, was like, young. And
I'm just going to cut off your legs. That'll be fine.
Yeah, and now
right here by this volcano.
Obi-Wan's matured, learned, and Darth Maul was still using the same thing.
And two is like, you can't cutting this guy in half isn't going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something a little more drastic. So we know Maul's fate is to die on Tatooine at Obi-Wan's hands. We also know most of his activities involve the cast of rebels. So you wonder if, because it looks like it's setting up. I mean, there is an Obi-Wan movie apparently that's coming out. They're not necessarily saying it's Maul based, but if you were you've just announced this is your big bad.
There you go,
Maul, right?
Sure.
I feel like I'm saying we're going to the mall, but we're in the 80s. I'm going to go to the arcade. I'm going to buy one of those giant cookie pizza things.
There you go, cookie pizza.
Those are great. Going to go to the food court. Okay, but if you're going to do the mall scenario, you probably need to bring have some version of the Rebels characters onto live action. Not to say that's a horrible idea. But just anyway, they maybe end up retreading storylines they've already told.
Yeah, I don't know. But, except for that, apparently this was a disappointment. The box office for Solo.
Right, so you're saying there may not be a follow-up movie. But, I mean, in other words...
There may not be.
Maul might not be the villain in a follow-up Solo movie. He might be the villain in a follow-up Obi-Wan movie or a Boba Fett movie, which is also due to come out. Nice reference, by the way, they had to Bosk, the big lizard man looking bounty hunter that was in Boba Fett's crew. They mentioned it was by name. They also mentioned Scarif at one point, where they're like, "Hey, where else can we get this coaxium?" They're like, Scarif. They're like, "Yeah, no, that's not possible." Scarif is where the attack in Rogue One is.
Okay.
So at the time, it's still functional, and apparently guarded enough that the crime syndicate's like, we don't have to go there. There were a lot of fun little Easter eggs. I was a little thrown off by the dice, because the dice are obviously very important.
Sure.
I'd always thought that the dice were the dice he used to win some kind of a dice-based game to win the Millennium Falcon, and that's why he hung the dice up. Now, in this case, he had the dice before the game never happened.
Maybe it's his father's.
Sure. We could create another backstory for it. We just don't know.
There you go.
That's what it was confusing me. It was just why are these important?
It was the dice were born in a rich person's home in a game of Monopoly. So you see, it's two different worlds.
He had the race car
and
a top hat.
Yep, he did. There you go.
A little Scottish Terrier.
Yeah.
One thing that it didn't really affect my enjoyment at all of the movie, but it was kind of interesting how, I don't know the game of Sabacc.
Me neither.
I don't know what having a green card versus having two white cards means.
Nope.
And it was we just totally relied on whether the people yelled or not.
Yes,
it was and I've got this hand.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. It seemed very much, I've heard someone else say, very much like poker. And except if you're naive idea of poker is, well, if you get the right cards, you're going to win. Whereas in poker, it's more than that. It's like how you decide to play the game.
Sure.
So when you
Sure.
bluff,
You're
when you
making
don't, when you
bets.
fold.
When you cheat with your thing up your sleeve.
Well, I've heard it compared to,
like Texas Hold'em
the
or
Sting, and that poker game was another one where they cheated.
No, it was just funny because most of the time when you're playing, like for instance, Casino Royale or something like that, they set up the rules. All right, it's Texas Hold'em. You get 2 cards. You get anything. And so you know the rules going in. And this one, they're like, yeah, it's sabacc.
Yeah.
Look, when I do this and everyone claps him on the back, that means it's good. When everybody goes, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
I did like that he got clapped on the back, Han, when they thought he'd won. And then after he lost, he got some like conciliatory claps on the back. But I thought it was like this. It was the same motion, but like just different intent, which I thought was kind of fun. All right. So generally speaking, we already said that we enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, we did.
It's not an instant classic. I guess if you were to say something that's maybe slightly like, if not disappointing, almost like it's that, for instance, when Force Awakens came out,
yep,
and it was on its way, and they were like, oh my God,
yes,
and it had the promo for it, and it was like, what? And I was like, Force Awakens, it's a Star Wars movie, I'm going to this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't feel that for this particular movie.
Right.
It was like, it's Han Solo. Sure, I can't go on that day. I'll go on Monday. You know what I mean? Like it was like,
yes,
it wasn't must see watching. Kind of like Marvel at the moment still has kind of a must see feel, at least for me. We're like, oh my God, Infinity War, yes. We're gonna. And I think
you felt that way about everyone except this one.
Yeah, good point. Did I more so than this. Like at least maybe Thor Ragnarok. I was still like, oh, I'm interested. I may not have been like. But I was pretty invested.
No, I meant the other Star Wars movies.
But the other Star Wars movies, there was a time when I did. And as I say, for Force Awakens, I did.
Last Jedi?
Even Last
Rogue
Jedi.
One?
And to some, I think even Rogue One, because it was like, oh man, I knew I was going to have Darth Vader in it. And I knew that it was all about the plans for the Death Star, which it was going to be like a precursor to Episode 4. Yeah, I was pretty excited about it to go see it.
Interesting.
This one just
is because you know what's going to happen later. It's not whatever's happening is not affecting it. That is it.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously when I went, knowing the prequels were as unfortunate as they typically were,
yes,
they put a downer on a lot of stuff into the anticipation. But it just, I think Disney would love for it to be that same must-see quality that Marvel has, and Star Wars once had, and it doesn't have that at this point. The cachet isn't quite there.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, Han Solo, yes. Oh my God, I'm going to be so.
I mean, because if you look,
it was a good, solid summer action movie.
If you look at Marvel as an example of, they had Iron Man first, and then they had, I think it was Thor next, and then Hulk, and then Iron Man 2, and then Captain America, I think, and then the Avengers. I think that was the succession.
That sounds about right.
So that's 6 whole movies before we got Guardians of the Galaxy. So basically, and in fact, I think it was like
there were more than that because you had
Captain America, Winter Soldier,
right?
Right.
Stuff, yeah.
Right. But I think it was just Winter Soldier before
right.
We got Guardians of the Galaxy, I think.
So your point being what, like,
or maybe Thor 3 before that. So what I'm saying is, like, that's the real chance, the first real chance they took, right? I mean, the other ones were, you could say they took a chance with Iron Man because he wasn't really as popular as the other characters. So people were like, what are you doing? But he was a strong character, they felt, and they had a good star. So boom, that's what it. And then I would say that Hulk and Thor, yes, Hulk and Thor, those are fairly popular characters, but, whether or not they really achieved anything great is arguable. Captain America, again, solid movie, but I don't think it was until the Guardians of the Galaxy, where people were like, okay, whatever they decide to do is just going to work. And then Ant-Man, that was actually in development for a lot longer. It really should have come out before Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, that was fairly successful.
We'll be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp later.
So I feel as if basically Star Wars still has room where they can start to really take chances. So
okay, you're saying because there's just not that many films in this franchise yet, is what you're saying?
Well, because it's like basically it's like sort of like
films.
what characters can we do that we think people would be interested in, right? Before you can say, well, maybe we can take somebody who's only popular more with the fans that other people don't even know about. I don't think they're.
I just feel like based on the foundation of episodes 4, 5, and 6, that Star Wars as a franchise had a chance to be this indomitable force a la Marvel.
I think it does.
And I just feel like at the moment it's not there.
Right. Yeah, they're just trying to grow. I mean, if you want to say the first 3 and the prequels, but I don't count those. Because this current group is like trying to be inspired by what Marvel did, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So
totally
people who are
agree.
saying that, it's not, I've heard it criticized this movie, like, did we need it? Like, oh, why do you have to show us what's going on before or whatever? And it's like, it's just, we actually learned we have to meet new characters as a result of it, and expanding the universe, and they use a lot of the books in order to, fill in that world.
Yes,
so
stuff that was from the legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that question seems odd to me. Do we need it? Do we need anything really? But yeah,
like air. I think I need that in food, place to sleep.
I need coaxium to. I need hyperfuel to keep my vessels in the air and my train. But otherwise, no, we don't need anything. So yes, it is a solid movie. It is a good, fun action movie. It just. It doesn't rise to this level of some kind of a
not great,
instant classic.
Very good.
So yeah,
fun is what I'm saying. So 3 stars is what I said, but 2.5.
Big tub
is
of
fun
popcorn.
For him. That's just that's pretty good there. 2.5.
2.5. That's
what is
amazing.
That like C+? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I went with C sharp.
C sharp.
I went with a
C+.
D flat minor. Anyway, so yes, we will be back. Talking about Westworld tomorrow, and we'll be talking about Legion as well this week. So lots of stuff coming on. If you've got other things you want us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah.
But yes, that was Solo. A Star Wars movie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
May the Force be with you always.